Okay, this is going to be a quick one. Like I said in our previous video, what if you want to actually get a particular item from the arrays from where you store them? I mean, you store like 10 items, but you don't want to get them 10 at once, and you don't want to be getting them one after the other. I've shown you how you can get them all at once, and I've shown you how you can get them one after the other. But what if now I want to get some particular limit, like I want to get only 5, or I want to get only 3? You get out of the items that is there. Like now, for instance, you are having an e-commerce website. So there is a place where you showcase your goods, the things you have in stock, right? So after showcasing them there you want in your homepage where there is not going to be a much busy stuff like putting all your stock items on your homepage. No, but you actually want customer to see something attracting when they come to the homepage. So I want at each and every time the system, when it's refreshing the page, it should pick some items from the stock page. You get, like, let's say limited items, like, okay, let's just say like 3 items out of all the items that is there, 4 items out of the items that is there. You should take it and showcase it on the homepage, right? How are we going to do that? Now I'm going to show you how to pick particular items from where items are stored. So let's do that. Now, first of all, let me add items, because yeah, definitely in the stock you need to put some items there before you pick from there. So now let me add items to the array. I know in our previous code, we have an empty array here, so I'll be adding items to that empty array right now. So now you know what command I use in adding item before. This isn't new. So, and okay, I'll just cut this one short, but you'll be seeing the next stuff I'll be showing you. I'll not be able to use this one. I'll need that application like JSON, because I'll be using JSON then, right? So it won't work if I cut it short this way, but for now it will work. And is all 127, right? .0.0.1, sorry, slash port. No. Okay. Okay, now then we just need to copy this. We need to re-enter this today, because I'm sure I haven't saved the changes I do here. Okay, have I done any changes? No, I've not actually done any changes here. So first of all, you need to do some changes, and when I do some changes and save it, you need to re-add this, because it's actually on testing, not on it's I'm not using any UI here right now. So first of all you need to do is okay, here now we'll not be getting ID again, right? So first thing you need to do is clean getting the ID. We don't need to get ID here again, and here we don't need to turn it to string any longer, because, and again, you don't need ID here. What you need here now is limit, right? You can name it anything, but I'll name it limit. So here you don't need it to bring it out as string again, because you are actually wanting it to, you are counting it like I want you to bring 1 2 3. So numbers are int, not needing conversion again of string. So you just leave it as int, and here let's say at default, if I didn't mention how many numbers I want, let it at default just bring 5 items to that place. You understand? Except I mention it later, because I've, okay, in the return, let me structure that in the return, like let it return from 0 all through the limit I will impute, because here I've said the parameter I'm going to be imputing is limit, but at default, if I didn't input anything, it should bring 5, right? So now let's say it should return 0 all through that limit. From the 0 means from the number 1. I told you in coding our numbers start from 0, so 0 from the number 1 item all through the limit I'll be imputing, and if there's no limit, it takes all through 5, right? So if I save this now, you will see if I add anything, it's going to start from the beginning again, right? So okay, we have add items in the array. Now let's get them by limit. First of all, I will need to change these posts to get, right? Sorry. And now I'm dealing with limit, no longer ID. So let's clean this and let's write limit. Sorry, limit. Let's say the limit should be equal to 3. You get, and let's see, it gets us only 3 items, the first 3 items, because I said from 0 all through that limit. So it gets us only the first 3 items from the item that is there. And now if I did not specify the limit, okay, sorry, if I did not specify the limit, okay, if I specify the limit, let's say at 5, it's no longer bringing it. Oh, sorry, I'm using a post, right? I'm still, sorry, let me copy this. Okay, if I specify the limit, it's going to bring. What if I did not specify? You see, it's going to bring 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I added 6 into the array because at default I've said it should bring only 5 out of it, right? So it's going to bring only 5. And if I specify for it to bring like 6 now, is going to bring all the items there. Understand? So that's it. That's how to do that. And the next thing I would love to show you is, okay, now let's say I would wanting, when you are getting an item, instead of it to be returning all these return string, return this, return that, I don't want to be returning string again. I want it to be returning um a particular structure. Like now, if you are doing a to-do list, something you want the code to actually do, you want something to actually throw an error, something to recognize it if it is done or not. You understand? You have to actually structure your code to be able to like recognize stuff if this particular function is being done or not, rather than just leaving it, because some function might not be done and it will not stop the code from running. The code will still run. You understand? So now I want to structure it in a way which, if that function is not done, it should show something. But for now, I'll just give an example here. There's what we call Pydantic. Sorry. From Pydantic, let's import what we call base model. Right? Let's import what we call base model. And that base model, let's use it here. Let's use it to create a class. And this class now, let's call it let's just call it item. So let's impute the base model to the item class. So now what we are going to be doing is we will define two things there. Let's look at the text side, the text part of the item, and this one now is going to be a string, right? And for now, let's set it to none. Let's not put anything, right? Let's just set it to none. And secondly, we are going to be defining the boolean that will show us if the function we actually want to do is done or not. You understand? So let me name it for now as is done, and it's going to be a boolean. And for now, let's set it to false. You get? So it return false because it's none here. So if something is there, I'll say let it return true if it's done. You get? So okay. Now what we'll be doing, instead of us saying it should return a string, will not be like return string again. We'll be returning that particular class, which is what? Item. You get? We'll be returning item so that yeah, we'll be returning item and we'll be posting item into the, you can see if we use the initial, sorry, posting command here, okay, I think there's, come on, if you're writing this, the first letter has to be, yeah. So like I said, if I try to impute this, it's going to show an error, but it was working before, right? But now I'm no longer entertaining this. I want it to like bring it in this defined base model here by this item. You get? So what I'll do now is I'll no longer use this route stuff that I'm using here. I'm now going to be using the JSON that I told you about. That it might not work, it might work in the other aspect, but it won't work always. So now I'll need to put the content type here like I did in the first video. If you watch that, there is an aspect where I added a content type, right? Now there is need for it. So, and the content type now, sorry, will be an application, a JSON application, right?